and the man just throws himself onto the flames, and
I
he just begins burning.
I go to try to remove the guy from the flames.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I recognize him at all? Like,
Yeah, you bend down to pull him out of the fire. It's that Saith Kona's adopted son, Olaf.
okay, so I'm pulling him out of the fire and I'm like, Olaf, and I'm trying to like, pat the fire off
Yeah.
him
You
and
wake
roll
up
him over in the
immediately.
dirt. Okay.
Yep. You
I wake
awaken.
up and I'm like a little sweat
Yeah.
beaten.
So like, flashing forwards, like, it's sort of midday now and you've just remembered this dream. Like, what do you do?
Um, well, I will like to see the seer at some point. Um,
Okay. I mean, do you feel like now is the right time for that?
I mean, by midday probably, yeah, but I would have in the morning, eaten oats while
Yeah,
sharpening my axe, and I'm
totally.
actually would have checked on my boats and made sure that my artisans are like doing their proper job to make sure that our boats are proper because I took Viking, which
Mm,
you own both a small, shallow ship suitable for raids and have the service of a few men willing to sail with you and follow you into
nice.
battle. These both
Nice.
come at a cost. Either you have to maintain them yourself for a bit of silver a season, or someone else pays for them in return for your services. And I actually have the reason why I was brought here kind of was because yes, I am an old friend of Rovik, but he also knows that I come with, quite a few men as well as some
Okay.
ships that will help him raid in the spring.
Yeah, got it. Okay,
Um,
cool.
when you go a Viking in the summer, roll plus first on a hit. Your ship is safe, your crew paid and satisfied, and you have a handful of silver worth of goods to show for it. And if you
Yeah.
don't, then etc. But
Yeah, cool.
yeah.
And your second move?
My second is Berserker,
Nice,
befitting my name.
yes.
Berserkers, when you charge the enemy without regard for personal safety, yelling and howling, roll plus young. On a 10 plus, they all back the hell away or endure grave harm. On a 7
Nice.
to 9, the same, but only if you choose to press forward and endure their harm yourself.
Okay, cool. That's very cool. All right, yeah. Um, okay, cool. Like it. What do you do? Sort of now it's midday, you've just remembered this dream, you just saw the face of Olaf like melting off in the flames as he screamed and reached up to you. Like, what were you doing? You said you were like sharpening your axe and checking on your ship or something like that?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
I guess I would love to see Ingeborg and ask her of what this dream meant.
Okay, so you approach Ingebjorg's cabin. And as you approach, the door opens and out walks Grim.
I give him a nod as he walks by.
Yeah, he looks really shaken. Like his face is pale. He's a little bit sweaty. His eyes like barely focus when he sort of looks at you, and then he passes
When he
by.
when he passes by, I grab his shoulder. I'm like, "You okay?"
He says, "My friend, don't go here. It's not a good place for you. It's not a good place for us men to be around these magical witches. I've seen terrible things. The fates have ordained that my life will not be long." Well, how do you react?
He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Um, I I kind of like hit his shoulder again, and I'm like, get to the training grounds. We'll work this out.
Yeah. Okay. He seems, he's not entirely, reassured, but he says, "Ah, I, I, swinging a practice blade would help me take my mind off of things, but brother Aemon, no man can escape the fate the Norns have set for him.
Whatever
I'm
Odin
fated to
wishes,
die this summer.
we shall let happen, or we
I
shall
I
happen."
only hope to die gloriously in battle." And then, he sort of strides off. You know, the door to Ingeborg's hut is still cracked open just a little bit.
I push it slightly open and walk in.
Okay. Yeah, Ingeborg, are you still in there? I mean, you know, he just left, so I'm guessing
Yes.
he'd still be around somewhere. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was,
you see Eamon come in. Eamon, what do you look like?
Um, I walk in. I have a long blonde mohawk that's has multiple braids all the way down to the back, and then also my beard is braided like 3 or 4 braids all the way down, about this equal length. I have a really proud face, and then my body is like a hulking, very muscular body.
So you see this? Are you tall, man?
I would say that I'm average, not super tall, not short.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Ingeborg. What do you do?
Oh, hello. How are you doing? I didn't expect someone to come in here so quickly after the last one.
Yes. I had a terrible dream. I sit down on my own accord.
I walk over to the seat opposite and I sit down and I'm like, "Oh, yes, tell me all about it."
I kind of brush my beard and like stroke it, and I begin telling this what I saw within my dream, and the young boy.
Yeah.
And
So
and then
yeah, I mean, Ingeborg, what's your impression of this dream where Eamon was dreaming about your foster son burning in the fire?
I get kind of shocked and my eyes are like a little wide. And I'm like,
Um,
what did you see happening to him?
I tell him of how the boy was dancing and fell looked as though he willingly went into the fire, and was being consumed by it. And I tried to save him, but was awoken before I could save him.
Ingeborg, your son Olaf and Helga,
Yes.
that's your daughter. Yeah. They have not returned yet.
So I get some anxiety. I'm kind of like, well, Olaf has been missing for quite some time, and Helga went to go look for him.
This worries me, and I kind of like my eyes start. I look as though I'm like looking at like staring at a wall, but like not really. Like I'm thinking about something beyond that. And then I'm kind of brought back in, and I'm like, where was he last seen?
And I said, well, normally he goes and chops some wood for the fire, and he's usually back by now. But Helga mentioned something of a brook, and she went to go look for him near that brook.
I just begin thinking of what brook that he could be thinking of. Is there a particular brook that's within the area that I would know of, or are there multiple?
You know, like from that description, I don't know that you would, or like, would you? Are you like the guy who goes around all the lands to check up on them and see, you know, make sure everything is okay? There's nobody, you know, no wanderers or anything like that, sort of camping out on distant fields or things like that? Or are you more like a personal bodyguard to Rovik?
I think that would be up to more of Rovik's decision on that front.
Rovik, what do you use Eamon for most often?
I think Eamon is a much more independent friend. I don't think that he's just here to do my bidding or be just my personal bodyguard. I think he just looks out for the welfare of the homestead. I have a large family, you know, there's people who come to stay on my property. So I think he's just here to kind of like a community watch, you know, and it's his business to sort of know what everyone is up to. And he runs his ships, then we kind of have an agreement on that perhaps as well. That would be up to him.
Eamon, like, you don't really know.
Okay.
But you think that you have seen Olaf hanging out with Ref fairly regularly because they're of a similar age, it's possible that Rovik's son Ref might know.
Okay. While I'm there, can I do a reading? How do you say your name? Is it
Ingeborg?
Ingeborg. um, does she look worried? I mean, what?
Oh, are you trying to like look into her heart?
I guess.
Let's
Sure.
see. You are Eamon. You don't have a relationship with her, so you don't have any bonds. So you can't actually ask Krendor any questions about Ingeborg at this point.
Okay.
If you wanted to, you would have to gain a bond with them, and you could do that by like giving her a gift or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, you could always just ask, but there's nothing saying that Ingeborg actually has to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering if she looked worried, but I mean, if you don't look worried, that's fine. So I guess I just tell her that I wanted to let her know that this is what I saw, and perhaps that she could use the knowledge.
I grab your arm, and I'm like, you need to find out if this is true or not. Please, can you go looking?
Okay. This is actually a move. You are goading a man to action. So, Ingeborg, would you roll plus gendered?
All right. So I roll 2d6 or
Yeah, 2d6 plus your gendered, which for you is +1? No, it's 0 for you.
okay.
9, not bad. Okay, it's always the PC's choice, but on a 7 to 9, you can offer this PC one of these two options. Either he gains a bond with you if he does it, or his honor is in question if he refuses.
Wow.
Which of those are you offering?
Well, I feel like I would want the honor to be questioned, but I'm so worried that I'm just like, I'll give a bond.
Yeah, so like you make it clear that this is a big favor that
Yeah.
she'd be doing with you, or that he'd be doing for you. Okay, yeah, like Eamon, what do you think?
I say Olaf is a good boy. I will see what I can do, or a good man. I will see what I can do.
Okay, cool.
And
So mark down a bond with Ingeborg. So that's like a currency that you can spend at any time to help them or hinder. Generally, you have to sort of be there to be able to do it. But yeah, okay. So what's your plan of action?
I guess go to what I think is the river that he would have gone to.
Okay, you're just gonna go out looking.
I'm gonna talk to, because you said he was hanging out with Ref.
Yeah.
Probably talk to Ref first and see if Ref has seen him or known of his whereabouts recently.
Yeah. Okay, so Rovik, you're back on the farmstead. Like, what are you doing for your day today?
So after eating my breakfast and dragging my sons to their heels and out into the field, I probably just get right to work. I'm going to mostly tell them how to plow the fields, and then I'm going to go off to tend to my livestock.
Yeah.
And I've
okay.
decided what livestock I have. You said that I had 7, right?
Yes.
So I've decided I have 3 cattle, 1 goat, and 3 sheep.
Nice. 3 cattle, 1 goat, 3 sheep. Okay, cool. Yeah, like, how far away from the field are you when you're tending your livestock? Are your animals sort of like stabled close to the field, so they're near like grazing pasture and stuff like that?
Somewhat, yeah. It's all pretty tight together.
Okay, like you hear the ringing of a blade, clang, 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 coming from out in the fields where your sons are.
I immediately look up and I start walking towards them. I ensure that the gate is closed behind me, and then I just start walking immediately to investigate.
Yeah, swiftly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty swiftly. I'm pretty sure they're just playing if it's my sons, but you never know.
Yeah, you see from across the fields, you see your oldest son, Ref. He has an axe in his hands, and he is battling against a large man, a muscle-bound man.
I immediately start to run full tilt.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I draw my sex.
Okay. You get closer. It's Grim.
Okay. I
Yeah.
sort of stop confused and I say, "Halt, what's the meaning of this?"
Yeah. Like Grim immediately he backs off. He's breathing heavily. He's got his own, sort of hand axe in his hands. And you can see it like on Ref's face. There's a big grin. Grim turns around, Grim turns around. He says, Rovik, I had to work off a little bit of nerves. Your boy here was helping me out. We were just trading some blows. Nothing untoward. I apologize for giving you concern. And Ref is sort of like, he looks like he feels pretty good about himself. He says, yeah, Grim here, he says that he's got 5 summers adventuring in foreign lands. I think that I should be able to go with you this summer, Father, when you go raiding.
Oh, you think so? You think you're ready?
I've been practicing quite well. Who is it who thinks that like Ref is just lame at fighting? Yeah,
Eamon.
He says I've been training with Graham Scum and Eamon. Even Eamon has seen the work that I've put in, and it's about this point actually that Eamon comes walking up. Yeah, and you're close enough to hear Ref's boast like sort of ringing out over the fields as you approach Eamon. What do you do?
I put out a cackle and say that is not what I saw on the training grounds yesterday.
Oh shit.
So I sort of like look over and raise my eyebrow at my friend.
Yeah.
My
Roll
friend.
Roll plus gendered.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Or is it 2d6, right?
Yes.
2d6.
Oh, sorry, no, not Shannon. Sorry.
Me, right?
No, I need Maggie to do it.
That's what I
because
thought.
Eamon is the one who is throwing an insult at another man. 8. Okay. Yeah. He can either attack you then and there, challenge you to a duel later, or demand an apology. Yeah.
So this would be up to Ref, right?
Yeah, you see something come over Ref's eyes, and Rovik, you've never quite seen this from your son before, but Eamon, like Ref, sort of like puffs himself up a little bit. He says, Eamon, you are my father's friend, but not even my father's friend can. I will not bear an insult even from a friend of my father. Apologize immediately. I will join you on the raids this summer. What do you say?
I walk up and I, kind of like give him a good handshake and say, "I'm sorry to offend young Ref. I just, I worry for you. I want to make sure that you are truly trained before you go into battle."
It worse. You're making it worse.
Eamon meant no harm by that, right, Eamon?
Sure, no harm meant.
Does that sound very sincere to you, Rovik?
I don't know,
Alright.
Ref. I guess it is time for you to leave the tilling of the fields to your brothers today, and come over to the training grounds with me. I'll show you how to do this.
Oh, Ref, he sort of perks up a little bit. He says, "Very well, Father.
You will
I will
join.
show you. I will show you that I have what it takes to fight beside you this summer." Yeah.
And I kind of look over at Eamon and I just like really raise my eyebrow, like, you did not just fucking.
Yeah. Eamon, what's your reaction to all this?
I just, kind of brush it off.
Yeah. Okay. You were here for a reason, right, Eamon?
I was.
What about that?
Is Ref and Rovik walking off or something?
Yeah, I think they're like just turning to
We're just
head
turning.
off to like the
Okay.
practice
Yeah.
yard or whatever.
Hey, Ref. I called at him before they walk off.
Yeah,
Have you
he
seen-
just sort of slows down and looks over his shoulder.
Have you seen Olaf?
Not this morning. Why?
When was the last time you saw him? Oh gosh, dude, Crender, why do you have to make such a ridiculously
Ingeborg?
Ingeborg. Ingeborg has been looking for him, and we've been unable to find him.
I was with him yesterday. We were spearing fish in the stream.
Which stream?
It's to the north. About an hour.
All right, thank you.
There's a trapper trail. The what was the name of the trapper? Ari. Yeah. Ari goes out that way sometimes to look for foxes. He just sort of turns back around and stalks off with Rovik. What do you do, Eamon?
I guess I'm gonna go find Ari. Is there anyone else that is there? Was it just the three of us?
Yeah, it was just like the boys and you in the field with Eamon and Grim.
Oh, and Grim.
Yeah.
I asked Grim if he would like to join me to find Olaf.
You know what? He says, no, I will not join you in searching for that witch's son. It is ill to go near her, to be associated with her. She is an ill omen and will bring poor fortune upon us all. I bid you good day. And he just sort of like, turns around and stalks off.
It worries me a little bit. I'm like, what is going on with Grim? And like in the back of my mind, and I head off to find Ari.
Okay. You and Grim actually end up going in the same direction because you're both heading back to the farmhouse.
Awkward.
And yeah, like it's that thing where like you've both said goodbye and like he doesn't really want to talk to you, but you're there anyway. As you approach, you see Hilda. What are you doing, Hilda? It's sort of like early mid-afternoon.
Sharpening my blade.
Yeah. Are Scum and Vebjorn anywhere nearby?
They are around a nearby campfire eating various slop that was cooked for them early this morning by myself.
Okay, sounds delightful. Yeah.
I'm not a very good cook. It's whatever I'm horrible at it.
Is Ari hanging out with you guys? Is that something that he does every once in a while?
Yes, he's with me talking about falcons.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Good. Just, falcons.
He is like falcons.
I'm interested in falcons.
Those falcons. Let me
Tell
tell
me about
you.
falconry.
Yeah,
We're having a conversation about falcons.
Eamon, you come up and Ari is like, yes, they grow much larger towards the fall.
And
Is that your cat screaming?
Yeah, she's yelling at me.
And I laugh because that's not a fact, but it's a punchline of a very funny joke.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Cool. So
Yes.
Eamon, you come up, Ari's sitting there, he's talking with Hilda. What do you do?
I like wait for an opening because I don't want to interrupt their conversation.
Yeah. Scum calls out, Grim, come over here. Vebjorn was just saying the last time you and he wrestled, he remembers that he won. Is that true? Did he best you? And Grim is kind of like, no, that's not what happened. So they all sort of like, they all start standing up and talking animatedly about like wrestling matches and their win rates and stuff like that. Ari's still sitting down. He's maybe like he's like sharpening some sort of skinning knife or something like that. Hilda, what are you doing while Scum, Vebjorn, and Grim are arguing about wrestling?
I am like sort of checking out Grim, kind of wondering where he's been, what has been going on. He was up more early than everyone else. That never happens. Like, what was he up to? And I want to pose the question, but I know not to get in the way of three men arguing over who is the wrestling champ. So I just sort of watch and I'm like,
Yeah, okay. Cool. So, Eamon, what do you do?
Whenever I find an opening, I kind of look at Hilda and give her a nod, and then talk to Ari and kind of ask him if he's seen Olaf or heard of this brook to the north.
Ari, he puts down his knife. He says, Eamon, yeah, I'm familiar with it. I think the boys like to go out there and do their fishing every once in a while. There is a trail that I use to get out to the north of the farmstead about an hour. There's good fox runs out there. You say that what you're searching for Olaf? He's not returned?
We haven't seen him.
Like Hilda, what do you think about hearing all of this?
I sort of hear about this side. I'm not really paying too much attention, but I hear enough, and I turn to them. I'm like, "Do you need us to go find him? Because we'll do that."
If you would like to join me, I am going to look for him myself.
I know three narwhals who would love to get out of this village.
Yeah, the three narwhals, like two of them have started wrestling each other. It's Grim and Vebjorn are like manhandling each other over sort of in the like dangerously near the watering buckets.
I look at the two wrestling and again at Ari and then back at Hilda, and I nod with a kind of a little bit of a smirk.
Yeah. What are you gonna do to get these guys to go along with you, Hilda?
Well, I'm gonna. Who are the two wrestling?
It's Vebjorn and Grim. They're trying to settle that challenge.
All right. Well, then I yell to Scum. I tell him, Scum, the fates are on your side today. Turns out, your whimpering for adventure finally paid off. Grab your two friends. We have someplace to go.
Yeah. Roll plus gendered.
Roll plus gendered? I have a -1 gendered too, so...
Yeah.
What is that going to end up being? R1D2D?
Slash roll 2d6 -1.
All right, cool.
Ooh, 6. Yeah, okay. Scum says, shut up, woman. I'm watching the fight. And he just, goes back to it. You hear a scream echoing from over the fields. It's a young woman. What do the two of you do?
I immediately get up. I look concerningly at whoever else also kind of stops and pauses, and I book it towards
the I grab my shield and I'm like, let's roll. I don't even say anything. I'm just out. Let's go.
You grab the shield and it's Helga, and she's coming running towards the farmstead. So you guys are running off to meet her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eamon and Hilda. Okay. She comes running up to you. She's out of breath. She says, bandits north of the farmstead. They took Olaf.
I look at you, Hilda, and that's all she says. Which way did they go?
She says. I think that's a good place to end it for the evening.
Okay.
And then I'll have some time to sit down, think about what's actually all the relationships that are going on, what's happening in the nearby regions.
We're going to need a Game of Thrones layout of all the the tree.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to
totally
do I'm going to do a relationship flowchart that says who has relationships with whom, and I'm also going to do some work on my side to figure out how the NPCs are feeling about each other.
For those who are asking who Helga is, that is Snorri's daughter, who is under the guardianage of Hilda,
which is do that a lot. We're gonna do that a lot.
Yeah.
I was wondering who this character is.
Kind of went.
Helga is the 16-year-old daughter of Chief Snorri. She's now in the foster care of Ingebjorg. So she's the daughter who went off to search for Olaf originally in the beginning of our play session. And now she's come back to report that there are bandits to the north and that they've stolen Olaf. So I'm writing that down.
My babies.
Actually, I don't know if this will... Here, I'll type it.
Okay. While Shannon is typing, let's do some shout-outs. So why don't we first start with our new player, Crendor.
Hey! How's it going? I am Crendor. You can find me at youtube.com/wowcrendor, twitch.tv/crendor, twitter.com/wowcrendor, facebook.com/crendor, wowcrendor.com directs you to all those things. You can buy merch. You got to go to twitch.tv/crendor. There's a merch button below the stream, or you can just go to wowcrendor.com. There's links to the merch right there. You can also check out all the backlog of videos I got. If you're into World of Warcraft, I got WoW Machinimas dating back to 5-6 years ago. Insane. If you haven't seen them, go check them all out. There's a lot of them. Just sort by most popular. You're going to see it all. You got the most popular on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/wowcrendor. That is, again, youtube.com/wowcrendor. If you're only a Twitch fan, again, twitch.tv/crendor. Thanks.
Wow.
That's
Someone has
That's a
practiced that.
Oh
Like,
That's
my
a
God.
shout out, unlike the likes of which we usually see on Roleplay.
Yes.
I think the rest of us really have to step up our game.
I'm well versed.
That's true. We do.
So, Jesse, you've dealt with this man before. I'm going to throw it over to you.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Jesse Cox. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jesse Cox. That was slurred speech. Don't care. Just Jesse Cox. Twitter @Jesse Cox. My shout out today goes to Apollo retail specialists who were supposed to deliver furniture, but they were scheduled from 8 to 12, but didn't show up, and then rescheduled from 1 to 5 and didn't show up for that. So shout out to them for making me sit around all day and not doing anything. You guys are literally the worst people on earth, and I hope you get herpes.
Wow.
They already got
There's
herpes.
really no convenient way for me to like segue off of that. Let's
Speaking
all
of
take,
herpes.
let's take a moment to clear our minds.
And go to soundcloud.com/CoxandCrendor, where if you enjoy Jesse Cox and Wild
Bam!
Crendor on a podcast, you can see Cox
Bam!
and Crendor live for 101 episodes with a new one coming any day now.
Excellent.
Oh my God,
Thank you
that's
for
so
that, Crendor. Shannon, let's hear from you. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm ShannonZKiller. That's Z, not Z. I am Canadian, so you have to say it my way. So there. Otherwise, get herpes. No, that's not what I mean at all. I don't really stream all that much, but I do lots of fun things with my friends, like JP's roleplay on the West Marches and the other stuff. So the best place to follow me is twitter.com/ShannonZKiller. I also run the Twitch community subreddit with a bunch of awesome people. So if you want to, come check out and find more stuff about Twitch, then you can go to reddit.com/r/Twitch.
Awesome. All right. Love it. Love the easy transition into Maggie. Let's hear what you've been up to or where people can find more about you.
You can find me at margaretcrone.com. Bam.
Wow.
Damn. That is.
Wow.
Y'all could take
That's
some
simple.
lessons. That's
All right.
slick.
Right.
Yeah.
You buy amazing shirts at margaretcrone.com.
Probably. There's probably a link there.
I
Yeah.
will have shirts coming soon. My
You'll have to
artist
go-
who makes all of my art is also making shirts, so stay tuned.
Well, you
have to
can
go to
buy shirts at
margaretcrone.com.
makershit.com/collection/wowcrendor.
Oh my God.
You
All
invited him
right.
on. You invited him on.
Y'all shut up. It's my turn now. I am Stephen Lumpkin. I am a game and level designer living in Montreal. You can find out more about me by going to Twitch, YouTube, or twitter.com/SilentOsiris. The O is a 0. It's the same thing in all three places. I am going to put a Q&A up on r/itmeJP over on Reddit. So go to reddit.com/r/itmeJP to ask me questions about the show. The first session of a Powered by the Apocalypse game is always very challenging on the GM because I had nothing prepared coming into this other than knowledge about Iceland, and I just asked a lot of questions, and now I have a lot of answers. The first thing I'm going to do is on that Q&A, I'm going to put a list of all of the NPCs that we know so far and their relationships to each other, so you should be able to find out more about it that way.
Can we make a video where I just in the background like, but it's just
Yes.
me?
Yes, we can do that. Okay, that's it for the evening. Thank you all for coming out and watching us, and thank you to the four of you for playing this first session tonight. And a special thanks to JP, our absent but ever-present host, who's running production for us in the
Yay,
background.
JP. Go JP. Follow JP on
Don't
twitter.com/.
follow him.
And right
Yes.
here, hit that
Yeah,
follow
yeah,
button.
follow.
Follow
Yes.
button for JP.
That little
and
heart.
Follow
thank you to
button,
too, because
button follow.
yeah,
JP.
support.
All right,
I wouldn't.
we'll
I
leave you with
wouldn't either.
that. Have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.